Hey guys, today we're going to be installing this aftermarket light kit on my Ford Ranger. It's from Rough Country. It is not a sponsored video. I purchased this with my own money and we're going to install it. So it's going to be installed on the Ranger in this little slot right here. You can't really tell really closely, but it's kind of like an air. It kind of like deflects air towards the inside, but we have this whole opening down here. So we're going to be putting the light bar in there, so it's going to look really factory because this is the factory bumper. Sorry for all the bugs. I washed this thing a couple days before making this video, but I don't know, I just wasn't able to get all the bugs off. I really need to do a better job. But anyway, so yeah, we're going to be installing it in there. I don't think it's going to interfere with cooling or anything like that because it's literally a very small opening right there. So we're going to be putting the light in there, and hopefully it's going to look pretty cool. So let's go. So here's what the kit comes with. The kit comes with these very brief instruction and wiring diagram. That's what comes in the box with it. But I was able to find a more detailed instruction on Rough Country's website. If you need the number of the instructions, it's right here. So you can pause it and write that down or whatever. But this is pretty detailed instructions, including pictures and everything. So that's gonna help us out quite a bit. What else is in the kit? Of course, there's some adapters, some mounting brackets, and some hardware. And then, of course, here's the lights themselves. Let's see if I can do this one-handed. Yep, there's the light itself. So that's what the light bar is going to look like. Of course, there's power connectors, and there is a remote-mounted switch. I believe that's going to mount inside the cab. So we'll just go about installing it, and we'll see how it goes. All right, so I've already removed the pan that goes underneath here. So the next thing we've got to do is take out the 5 bolts that go across here. There's 3 in the middle and 1 on each outer edge. That's the next step. All right, so we've got those 5 bolts out. Now we have to take out these clips in this upper bumper edge. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 across there. To aid in that, I have these clip removal tools. I got this whole kit on Amazon. It comes with replacement body part kits. These are like all your most common ones. And then it came with 5 different like clip removal tools, and it was only 15 bucks. So that might come in handy there. I'm gonna try to use this one first, and if this one doesn't work on them, I'll use one of the other ones. It worked a lot better than just using a screwdriver. You can just kind of get your one side of it underneath there and pop it down, and then pull the whole thing out kind of like a nail. Works really well. All right, for me, there's one extra step because I have this aftermarket grill insert here because I thought it looked stupid, just empty right there. So this part right here is aftermarket, and I've got to take these 2 extra bolts out right here. All right, so now I've got the bumper trim kit off. So it looks like this now. So this is just that center part that goes like that. All right, the next thing is to take off these little kind of mud flaps around the tow hooks. So if you just grab it, that should, well, you might need to wiggle it a little bit, but yep, there we go. Slides right off. Take that off both sides. All right, next we're gonna use a paint pen, and we're gonna outline these nuts. There's 3 of them that hold the bumper on each side. We're going to just put an outliner on there so that we can properly line it back up when we put it back together. All right, we're taking these 3 bolts off on either side. For some reason, the instructions, you can see my paint right there. So for some reason, the instructions said it was 13 mil. Those are not 13 mil, they're 21 mil. So hopefully you have a 21 millimeter socket. Okay, so the instructions say to disconnect the fog light disconnector, which is right here, and it plugs in right up behind here. So you have to reach up from the side. It says to do that before you drop the bumper. It was impossible for me to get to it from down below. I don't know why it said that. So what I did was I have this box here. It's a solid plywood box. I just dropped the bumper down a little bit and rested it on there, and then I was able to reach up in this gap. And then the disconnect button is really hard to get to. There's the slot, you can tell there, and so the button to release it is on the connector up inside. So you have to kind of like reach behind it with your thumb and push that button, and then this should pop down like that. So that's how you disconnect that, and then this whole bumper assembly will just come right off. All right, the next step is you're going to take out the 4 bolts on this bumper bracket. I've got the bumper cover turned around now, so technically it's backwards from the way it goes on the car, so that's now the driver's side. But anyway, there's 4 bolts, one here, here, there, and you do have to access the 2 bottom ones from underneath. You'll take those out, and then this will come off, and you'll do that on both sides. And then the next thing you're gonna do is you're gonna take these 2 bolts out for this bezel insert. And there's just a clip right there. So that's gonna unclip and then the whole thing should lift out. That's the insert you wanna take out. All right, so the instructions came with this template. I've got 2 of them printed out, 1 for each side. And that's gonna get taped right onto here. And then we're actually gonna cut this out. So hopefully that goes well because that's a factory part. So hopefully the cutting goes well. All right, so I have the 1 template installed. I think I might need to straighten it up a little bit right there, but I'm gonna do that. I just used some Scotch tape and rolled it over to make it into double stick tape, and I put a piece of tape here, here, and there. But you can see that there's a little place, see where it goes down right there? That's marked right here on the template, so you can align it right there. So this one's gonna be a little bit more difficult because the printing is down, so I have to put it this way and make sure it's aligned. All right, I'm in my workshop now, and I've decided the best tool that I've got to cut this out is gonna be my Dremel with this little cutting tool on it, so we'll give it a shot and see how it goes. All right, I've got the first one cut out. It's a little bit rough here because it does kind of create these burrs from the plastic heating up, but I'll just deburr that and clean up the edges. That'll look really good. I might use a little sander attachment for that. I went through 4 of these cheap little cutting tools because they're really fragile. Like, see how easy they crack. So I went through 4 of them, but fortunately I got a bunch of them, and we're gonna do the same thing for that second one. All right, I got both of these cut out and deburred, so now we can go back up to the garage and install the lights in them. All right, so the mounting brackets look nothing like the picture whatsoever. You can see there's a long one and then a 90 one there, and that's what came in the kit, and they will not work for what this is. But the good news is the light does sit in here, and when I test fitted it in the bumper opening, the more narrow opening on the front of the bumper did hold the light in place. So this might work. I just might have to put some black silicone or something in there for vibration to keep it in place, but this might work without the mounting brackets. We'll see. All right, I've got the bezels back installed with the 2 bolts plus the clip. The wires come out right here, and there's a wiring harness for them. I'm gonna flip this around so we can see what it looks like. All right, so this is what it looks like from the front. I'm not super impressed with the alignment. It does have a little room in there to move around. I might wind up putting some black silicone in there. I'm not sure yet, but I'm gonna reinstall the bumper now and see how it looks. But yeah, and of course we have to hook up the wiring as well. All right, here's a look at it with all the lights on. Now that those are bright, I don't know if I might need to upgrade the fog lights now because they look kind of dingy compared to the new lights. But I like the way they look. I'll do a night video so you can see what they look like at night and like how much more they contribute. So I'll find an object like the garage door to shine them on, and I'll do a night video to update you on how much better they light the road. And I am going to also include at the end of this video how to fish that on-off button up through the dashboard and mount it inside the truck. So we'll do that, and then we'll wrap up the video. All right, this is the night test. This is with just my headlights and my regular fog lights on. And that is with the new aftermarket lights on. So again, headlights and fog lights only, and the new aftermarket lights. You can see quite a difference. Not only is it wider, but it's a lot more concentrated light. So here is the lights off, just regular headlights and fog lights. And here's the new lights on. I don't think from this angle that the camera picks it up very well, but you could definitely tell by the how well it lighted the garage door, how much brighter it is. All right, so I'm fishing the power wire, or so the power button through the firewall into the cab now so I can mount it up here. You've got your fuse panel here. This just pops down, right? And then you've got like the 2 little hinges down there, right? Those are just those little pop rivet type things. Those pop out. You can like back the little screw out, and then this little screw part out, this plastic, and then they just pop off. So you can take that off for easier access. And then what I did was, up under here, you've got your main wiring harness boot right there. And there was already, I don't know if it was supposed to be this way or what, but there was already like a little tear in the side of the rubber there. You can barely see it on camera. but I just went through that tear. I poked a fish tape through. You can use like a spare piece of copper wire, whatever you've got. So I poked that fish tape through, and if you come up here under the dash, it's gonna come out right here. So if you look down in there, you'll see, I don't know if my camera can get down in there or not, but it comes out through there. So now I'm just gonna tie this cord right here. There's this connector, disconnect that, and then I'm gonna tie this on there, and we're gonna pull that through the firewall and hook it up. All right, we have our wire pulled through so we can mount our push button. Unfortunately, the connector kind of got ripped off when I pulled it through. That connector was pretty good size. It's the female version of this one. But I'm just gonna wire these wires directly together, tie them together with a splice joint, and then we'll be good to go. All right, we got everything hooked up. I just routed the cord up here beside the steering wheel, and it's the self-adhesive. It's stuck right there to the dash. I like that it has, sorry about my dirty dash. I like how it has indicators to see on or off status. Now it's on, now it's off, and that's it. Hope this helped y'all. Have a good one. All right, just wanted to come back and summarize really quickly. After driving it around a little bit last night and then again this morning, I'm actually pretty happy with the way the lights are sitting. Even though those brackets did not fit properly, they're not moving around or anything like that, so I think they're good. So I'm pretty happy with the way they're sitting, and although I wasn't originally thrilled with the brackets, I think it's going to work out quite nice. You'll have a good one.